Whoa! Hello and welcome back to Aviator Records. Today I thought I'd show you some of my newest purchases. Yeah, let's get into it. So, first off, I got another record with Depeche Mode. And this is a 12-inch EP. Came out just before 101 in '89, and yeah, this EP contains Everything Counts, Nothing Sacred, and A Question of Lust. And now, the cool thing about this, as I said in my last episode, is that Everything Counts was included on the album, whereas the other three songs were not included. So if you want to experience the entire concert from Pasadena Rose Bowl, you're gonna have to get this 12-inch, and you know, I just had to get it. And I also love this cover because it looks very similar to the cover of the 101 album, you know, with these merchandise stuff and things. So really beautiful record, and some photos there by Anton Corbijn. Yeah, my favorite on this one is probably that's a difficult one. I mean, I want to say Everything Counts, but then that's included on the album, so I'm gonna have to say I can't decide. Sacred is really good. I mean, it's an underrated track from Music for the Masses, obviously, and yeah, the other ones are really good as well. I'm very glad to have this in my collection. So that was the first one. The second record that I got, which is also Depeche Mode, but not... It's Depeche Mode, but it's not Depeche Mode. It's Martin Gore's Counterfeit EP, which came out the same year as 101, in 1989. And this is an EP, a 6-track EP from Martin Gore, a solo project. And yes, the name suggests, it contains 6 covers of some pretty, you know, unheard of songs, you know. The only song that I had heard before was In a Manner of Speaking by Tuxedo Moon. I think it's an American new wave band. That was the only song from this EP that I had heard, you know, the original version. So it's really cool in how Martin really makes these songs his own, and yeah, most of them really sound like they could have been written by Martin, but they're obviously not. So yeah, let me take you through the songs. First off, it starts with Compulsion, which is a great opening track. Really funky and, you know, fun to listen to. You know, it's the most upbeat song on this album, but overall, it's not an album obviously, but on this record, but overall, apart from Compulsion, I think that the songs have a sort of melancholic vibe to them, you know, very sensitive and very emotional quite, you know, sad in a way. And, you know, obviously with Martin's voice, it's just perfection. I love this EP. You know, I only recently discovered it, and yeah, then I got a copy of it, you know. Yeah, so it starts off with Compulsion, and then you have In a Manner of Speaking, which is also this beautiful, beautiful song, which is a cover from Tuxedo Moon. And then the third track on side one is Smile in the Crowd, which is also really good. I think it's from the Ruti Column, which is a UK band, I believe. I could be wrong on that. Really a great song. And then on side 2 you've got Gone, which is sort of a it's not the best song on the album, on the EP, but you know, it's fun to listen to. You know, it has a fast pace, I think. Yeah, and if you haven't heard this EP, really, and if you're a fan of Depeche Mode, you should really check this out. And Martin also did an album, you know, a full-length album. Many years later, I think in 2003, he did Counterfeit 2, which is a full-length album of covers. And that's also really good, and I really want to get it on vinyl, but it's quite expensive, and I really understand that. The fifth track on this EP is Never Turn Your Back on Mother Earth, which is also a really beautiful but also kind of sad song. Yeah, really good stuff. And the last track is Motherless Child, which is a great way to finish this album. You know, it's just very simple, minimalistic, not much lyrics. I think it's like a traditional folk song, you know, so not written by any artist in particular, but just, yeah. So really good stuff, and I can show you the inner sleeve as well. I think here's the lyrics, and here's a picture. So I'm really glad that I found this, and yeah, my Depeche Mode collection is always growing, and that's really good stuff. Now, the third record that I picked up this week is from an artist that most of you probably never heard of. It's a guy called Andy Partridge, and he was in this pop new wave band. I don't know, it's very hard to describe you know, their music and put it in a specific box or a genre, but you know, so he was in this band called XTC, which I'm a big fan of, and yeah, their last album came out like over 20 years ago, and since then Andy, who was the lead singer and songwriter of the band, has gone on to become a songwriter for other artists. And so, but you know, the music industry is obviously very complicated, and so a lot of his songs that he wrote didn't get recorded by the artist, and so he just ended up with this big pile of songs which were very good, but you know, no one wanted them, and so he decided to release them on his own. So this is his collection of Christmas songs that he has written for other artists. It's called My Failed Christmas Career, and he's done 2 other volumes with failed songs. And yeah, it's just a really wholesome and great pop record with, you know, a Christmas theme to it. As you can probably tell from the cover. And yeah, it's an EP, a 4-track EP, just like the Depeche Mode one. And yeah, I can show you the songs. So it starts off with Let There Be Snow, which is just so festive, so much Christmas, you know, in one song. I loved it. And then you got Through This Winter World, which is also, it's kind of like country music meets Christmas music in a weird way, but I kind of liked it. And obviously he's written this for a country artist, but I guess they didn't want it, and I don't know why, but you know, for some reason. The 3rd track is called Cool Yule, and this EP came out this year, just like a week ago or something. And this track, Cool Yule, was actually written by Andy back in like the mid 80s, you know, like 1983 or something. Which is really cool for me and for a lot of XTC fans, that he's putting out this material that is like almost 40 years old. No one's ever heard it before, and he puts it out now, and it sounds great. I love that track. It's a really warm, you know, last track is called Unwrap You at Christmas, and it's not a failed song because it was actually recorded a couple of years ago by the Monkees, so definitely not a failed song. And Andy's version is, you know, just, I think it's better than the Monkees version, but you know, because you know it has Andy's daughter Holly Partridge on vocals, lead vocals. So yeah, a really beautiful and fun Christmassy song. And I think this one is on YouTube actually, so I'll put a link down below and you can check it out. I hope, I know you'll like it, probably. If you like Christmas music, this EP is great. But yeah, that was all for this week, this episode. I'll see you next week in another video, hopefully. I hope that you've enjoyed. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you liked the video or share it with, you know, other vinyl people or whatever. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.